Hey guys, it's me, Olivia. I am back with another video. Yep, I am making videos like mm, mm, mm. But yeah, okay, so I want to kind of do like a part two or little sequel to the video that I am posting as we speak. When giving 1,000% isn't enough. Um, and I just thought that it would come on. I just said that. But yeah, I just thought that I would come on and make a part two to that. So, self, self worth, and what exactly is self worth? I feel like I didn't really elaborate enough on that, and so many people have this problem. Like sometimes I have this problem, just like everybody has this issue with self worth and like figuring out why you're here. And I know in my human connection video, um, I said that, our purpose for being here is human connection. And yes, that is one of our purposes. But a part of human connection is being able to connect with yourself. And I said that in my when giving 1,000% isn't enough. I said that in that video. But um it's being with yourself and being able to know who you are and like being able to identify with yourself, and not only identifying who you are but being able to identify with yourself. And that's important. It's important to have, like, you don't have to know exactly who you are, but it's good to have an idea, because if you have an idea of who you are at least a little bit, then it's easy to maybe value yourself. And a lot of people base self-worth on either material things or looks or perceptions. Okay. Whether it be what you perceive of yourself or what other people perceive you to be. And that's how a lot of people, find value within themselves. Like, oh my God, do I look good today? Like, I look like crap. Like, there are so many, like, we all do. We all tear ourselves down. And self worth and confidence are two totally different things, because you can be somewhat confident and not really think much of yourself. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know. It made sense in my head, but like, you can be super cocky and super confident, but if you don't really value your life or your purpose in life, then why are you here? Is my question. So I say that to say self worth is a little bit more than confidence. Knowing how much you're worth is more than being confident in yourself. Sorry, my door's kind of cracked. But knowing who you are is a little bit more than confidence. Like, being confident in yourself is like, yeah, I got this. Like, okay, I can do this. Like, you know who you are. Like, I think I'm confident. But self worth is different, because there's a certain value on your life. There's a certain value you feel that you have a purpose. What is your definition, basically? That is what self worth is. How do you define yourself? What do you use to define who you are? What I define myself. I Confidence is a part of what I use to define myself. You know, that's my self worth. That's a part of my self worth. That's that's my value. I'm as much as my confidence at times, which isn't always a good thing, because sometimes your confidence can be down. Um, like, how much. What is your purpose, basically? That is what self worth is. What is your asking yourself what your purpose is? Why are you here? And I think it's easy to find that value if you figure out what your purpose is. Like, if your purpose is helping people, then you're worthy. That is your self-worth. And the root word of worthy is worth. How much am I worth? Am I worthy of doing this? Am I worthy? And a lot of people that have like low self-worth, low self-esteem, are people that don't think that they're worthy. They don't think that they're worthy. They don't think that they deserve, good things. They don't think that they deserve to have, they're not entitled to having these luxuries, these everyday luxuries that we take for granted. And a lot of people feel like they don't deserve to be happy. They don't deserve to have joy in their lives. Now, I mean, if you haven't noticed by now, I'm Christian. I love God. I am very Christian, and yeah, and I feel like my relationship with God is a little more than my religion. My relationship with God is more than that. It's more than just like, a doctrine, or like more than a concept. It's an entity. And that is a part of my self worth. Um, but I was in church and we were talking, and like one of our instrumentals, one of our um one of our musicians was leaving, and we were holding this little reception downstairs. I don't know what to call it, but the bottom line is there was cake and he was there. So he was giving a speech, and not a speech, but he was talking. He was speaking outwardly. He was telling people, all of this other stuff. And what he said was that there is a difference between happiness and joy. Now, sorry, a lot of people debate me on this, but if you think about it, it's true. Happiness, the root word, or like the first four words in happy is hap. So this is how I think of it. Happiness, or being happy, is because something happened. Something happened, You're happy because you got an A on the test. You're happy because he or she texted you and you have a crush on he or she. You're happy because, I don't know, you switched to Geico. No idea. I don't know. But you're happy because something happened. That happiness is measurable. Happiness is measurable. You can measure your happiness, believe it or not, by things, by, things that happened, by events. An event is a thing. It's something that took place, it took place. It happened. That is why you were happy. But with joy, if you have true joy, is immeasurable. And I often kind of draw a correlation between joy and God. Joy, God, and love. God is love. God is joy. If you don't believe in God, you can equate joy with life. Or joy, I don't know what you can equate joy with. You can equate joy with just your being, yourself. Life is measurable, but living isn't necessarily. Like, you can't really measure, I mean, I guess you can. I don't know. Joy is just know that joy is different. Just know that joy is different. You can compare joy to the universe. The universe is immeasurable. We don't know, nobody can measure how far or how wide the universe is, because it's the universe. Like, you don't know. You cannot measure joy. You cannot, when joy is natural, joy is something that just happens, and you can find joy. You can't really find happiness unless if something happens. So whenever a lot of people say, I just want to be happy, do you really? Like, I mean, when happiness, like when you measure something, it stops. Like, I can measure this binder. Like, this binder, I don't know how long it is, 13 inches, an inch, who knows. It's an inch. It's probably an inch, yeah, maybe. Who knows, don't quote me on it. But this binder is measurable. And, like, after a while, it stops. Like, it's not infinite. Like, the binder doesn't go on forever. It stops at some point in time. And since happiness is measurable, happiness has the ability to stop at some point in time. Whereas joy, with it being immeasurable, you can equate it with the universe. Happiness and joy are totally different. It's immeasurable. Joy is measurable. You can't stop being joyful. Yeah, something pisses you off, you stop being happy, but you still have that joy within you. And what is joy exactly? Joy is just, it's something, I don't know. Joy is just, it's more than happiness. It's more than something that makes you feel good. It's a part of your self worth. It's, I don't know. It's just a part, it's something that people can't really take away from you. Because once you find it, if it's real, people can't take it away from you. It's your strength. It's your love. People can't take your love away from you. They can take away something that you love, but they can't take your love away. So that's what joy is. And tying that back into self-worth, if you have true joy versus happiness, then there is no reason why we cannot feel a certain way about ourselves. Because if joy is a part of your self-worth, then, and joy is immeasurable, then you can't really, I don't know, are you picking up what I'm putting down? You're picking up what I'm putting down in some way, shape, or form. But with your self-worth, I can't really tell you how to build self-worth, but I do know that finding joy is a part of it. Finding something that makes you feel that makes you feel more than just feeling. That gives you reason, basically. That finding something that can't necessarily be taken away within yourself. And you can't find joy anywhere else but within yourself. For a Christian, you can't find joy in anything else but within God, or but within yourself. For someone who doesn't believe in God, within the universe, within fate, I don't know, whatever you believe in, you get what I'm saying. Joy cannot be found in material things, and it cannot be found within someone else. It's found within yourself. And once you find that joy and that love, that thing that cannot be taken away, that cannot be measured, because no one's love can be measured. You cannot measure my love for my mother. You can't measure, how much do you love me? I don't know how much I love you. You know, if somebody were to ever ask me, how much do you love me? I don't know, because my love is so immeasurable. My love cannot be measured. You cannot measure, you just can't measure you can't measure feeling. I was this mad. I was this angry. I love you this much. It's not like, I don't know. I love you past the universe. I don't know. You can't measure my love for God. You can't measure my love for my mother. You can't measure my love for my father. You can't measure my love for my sisters or my brother. Love is immeasurable. You cannot measure it. And love is joy, and joy is love. And all of those things are a part of your self-worth. So once you find those things within yourself, then nobody can take that away from you. Not your mom, not your dad, none of your family members. Nobody can take that away from you. And you can't allow people to attempt to take away your love, or to even give them even for 1 second, take away those two things that make you who you are, is your love and your joy. Those are two of the main things that are part of your self-worth. Whenever I listen to these self-help gurus talk about, like, oh, finding your self-worth, all of this, measured. Your self-worth can't really be measured. Your self-worth, it's something that defines you, and if your being can be measured, then that's just sad. That just means that you're an immeasurable being and you can be bought. So finding joy and love, two things. Joy is different than happiness, love. All those are part of who you are. God gave it to you. If you don't believe in God, you were born with it. It's just something that's a part of your brain. It's a part of your psyche. It's a part of something that makes you you. So, that was my little thought. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos. Ask me questions in the comment box. Tell me what you'd like to see. Just ask. Just ask. Inbox me. I don't know. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. And so, yeah, have a good night.